Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to learn the short story of V.S. Naipaul, Bwrdwrth, and we will be discussing its summary and certain facts regarding this short story. I hope you all have gone through the text already as it was told to you all. Now today we will be discussing as it was decided early. Alright, and with this we will be completing our portion as well. So this particular short story of V.S. Naipaul. V.S. Naipaul was born in 1932. He is a Nobel Prize winning British author of Indian origin, and our present story is taken from his collection of linked short stories Meagle Street, that is set in Trinidad region. This is a story which can be interpreted as a coming of age story of a young man. It is explained in fourth person narration from a young boy's perspective. This particular story actually shows us or tells us about shattered hopes and broken dreams of the protagonist, and Bwrdwrth is the protagonist itself, and the protagonist fails to achieve his idyllic quest. This story also motivates us to see the beauty of nature surrounding us through the protagonist, of course, and through the protagonist only the author warns us or shows us the colorful world of nature. Though here one strange thing we will find, that being a failed poet, Bwrdwrth, he is capable enough to dwell on his own imaginary world. This story not only emphasizes or motivates us to see or to appreciate nature, but also it shows it explores on the bonding of the poet and the boy, and that is very prominent when that we will be throughout the story we will find that how their relationship it started and how gradually it became so strong, and it was so strong, such a bonding that when Bwrdwrth at the end of the story, when we found that Bwrdwrth was about to die or his death, it even matured the young boy, and the young boy then started to comprehend the deeper significance of life. All right, so I will be trying to make you all understand the story, and we all are going to meet very soon, and there we will be going through line to line. All right, so as I told you all, the short story Bwrdwrth that can be interpreted as a coming of age story of a young man. As the story begins, we find that the young man encounters a strange caller at his home. Now his harried and practical mother doesn't have much time to entertain such strangers. So though at the very beginning of the story we will find her to be kind enough to the beggars, but when she finds a man tardily dressed, like wearing a hat or a white shirt and black trousers, then somehow asks the person who asked to be let inside their yard because he wanted to see their trees. The young boy is intrigued by the unusual request, but his mother was not that much ready to accept such request. All right, so she was she was a bit suspicious, and in such condition only she tells her son to keep a watch on that man. Now nothing dramatic happens as the man squats near the tree for about an hour watching it. He confides to his young companion that he loves to watch things for hours. He also loves to watch ants for days. He also tells that the narrator, as we find, the young boy, that he is a poet, the greatest in the world, and the word Bwrdwrth, that B in his name stood for black as opposed to white Wordsworth. Here we find Naipaul at his ironic best. shades of racism also we can observe here. Okay, so whom the stranger charms as his brother, and they say that yes, we share our heart, we share one heart, and the boy also says that yes, I can see small things, and I can also spend a long hour praising, means just like watching a small flower, like morning glory, or and even can cry. So immediately with these things we are once again reminded of Wordsworth's lines. All right, so here the stranger even tried to as the story goes on, we find that the stranger even wants to sell his poem he had written about means in exchange of the amount of 4 cents. So these all things it goes on and takes place, and in between their relationship also it also develops. Okay, so about a week means just after about a week later, the man invites means the young man is invited to the poet's house, and is served with mangoes. And for this particular reason, as without telling his mother, the boy visits the stranger's house, and she beats her and she scolds her, and the boy immediately means runs to or returns back to the stranger or Bwrdwrth, and there again they spend quite plenty amount of time together, and they start enjoying observing things, and in this way means they their relationship also it also gets formed, and thus begins a friendship which actually proves to be educative for the child. The boy learns to observe things of nature. The boy learns about how to acquire poetic sensibilities, and all these things are gradually being developed. Okay, so one day then as the story goes on, we find that one day the boy asks, I mean, so when while visiting his house, the boy asks the stranger that why does he keep bushes in his garden, and in this time the man tells him a story of a young poet, a young poet, means both the poets, one male and one female, and how they used to, it was actually a touching story, and of a young poet and his wife, and who loved poetry, grass, flowers and all. And one day the wife dies, and after that the young poet decides not to touch anything on that garden. And in this hour the young man or the boy, he understands that this is actually an autobiographical story. It's not a story, it's actually an autobiography that the boy understands, and this also plays a very vital role in his realization. All right, so as the story goes on, as he also tells him that he is writing a poem which is going to get published 22 years later, and that is going to be the greatest poem that is ever written. So after that we find that yes, the man, he becomes ill, and the boy gets a hint that his friend, the man, is about to die. So before death, the man admits or tells him that whatever he has claimed so far of regarding writing the greatest poetry and all these things are actually it's lie. He was lying all these things, and he also asks the boy to never return back to that place. So this is all about the story we have come to know, and about the certain things as I told, and some in certain facts the man or the protagonist is considered, whether he is considered as an escapist, and some of the persons they do not consider him to be the escapist. So these things are some means once you go through the story you will come to know, yes, if we consider him to be an escapist, then yes, there are certain facts like he was not successful, and that as he claimed to write the greatest poem, which was actually a false thing. Okay, so these things, and when means and whatever he used to tell that boy, as just when he was about to die, or he when he dies as an ill person, has that was all those things were false, and he achieved nothing in his throughout his life, and he was under an illusion, and the illusion, it hovered him, and it destroyed just everything. Means as illusion generally get destroyed, everything gets destroyed just when he finds that he's not going to survive anymore. All right, so here also one more thing that is means his entire story, his that about the story of the boy poet or girl poet, that was also not true. So these all things, this illusion that he hovered around him, all these things were actually very much untrue, and somehow he created all such stories, or this the world of falsehood around him, just in order to escape or this the practical, the reality that he achieved nothing. So if we consider him as an escapist, we had to consider these facts, and if we don't consider him as an escapist, for that for those things also we have certain points, but those points I will not discuss today. Rather, I want you all to find it out, and we will have a fruitful discussion in our live session. So I hope you all will definitely go through this particular story, its text, and we will be having a very good discussion on this in our next when we meet. And with this, we complete our portion. I wish you all I wish each and everyone will definitely go through and learn his text, his or her text, because we have to answer all questions, and I hope by this time you all have already gone through the specimen question paper, and you have to, it's not the time of only MCQ, you have to write answer of 4 marks. So be mentally prepared, take preparation, and we are always there for you all. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.